this right here. I want to make sure that everybody could see it. And that it's visible in the screen. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this real quick. It's the first tier, and you guys can see in the channel I've posted from the previous stream as well. But I'm going to do just a quick preview of it. We got 6 tiers all together. The first one is just a thank you to all the viewers, and with a $2 contribution to the stream, you get access to the Discord server where everybody from all the different social media platforms has a chance to come together, talk, share things art related. Doesn't necessarily have to be stream related. Could be just anything that you enjoy, and get to know each other, create a community, create an Art Lounge community. And that's really what the Discord is there for, along with other benefits that you'll see later. Patreon listed, patron name listed in credits. I'm going to be doing credits once more patrons are going to join. I'm going to be doing credits at the end of the stream with your name listed as a thank you. And you get access to the patron-only community. Now, for the all-access patrons, you will get, for $5 a month, you'll get work in progress, behind the scenes, access to finished pages. So things that I've been working on, you can have access to that as well. Access to the Discord server. As I mentioned, everybody could come together on the Discord server to talk about anything art related, share images. You guys can post images there, you can post links and videos, that sort of thing, and build an Art Lounge community. And you'll also, like the previous tier, get your patron name listed in the credits. Then we got the tier 3, which is what Fridays are going to be about. So for $15 a month, you will have access, well, you'll have the ability to submit your work to have it live critiqued. So I'm going to do Fridays just dedicated to your work, and you'll also get access to the artist submission Discord channel. So everybody who is in this tier is going to have a channel dedicated to them. And you guys can all come together, talk about your progress, talk about things that you want to improve on, or just, you know, hang out, get to know each other, that sort of thing. It's just an opportunity for all the different social media platforms to come together into one place and interact, create a community. So you will also get promoted. So when you submit your work, you can also include a link to your social media. So if you have an Instagram, DeviantArt, or other popular forms of social media where people can check out your work, include that, and I will post it on the stream. I'll have that on the stream for everybody to check out. Just a quick note, 1600 by 1200 pixels in either order when you submit your image. You don't want to submit something really small and pixelated. You want to submit something that I'll be able to zoom in on and show you, okay, here, you could improve here, you could improve there. It's going to make for a better quality stream as well. So that's an important one. And it could be in any order. It doesn't necessarily have to be landscape view. It could be in portrait view, but just make sure that the pixels are up there. So direct message me your patron name and the submission on Discord. So once you join this in, you join this tier, send me a direct message on either on Patreon or on the Discord server, and we'll take it from there. No, nothing pornographic, guys. We're trying to have it as broad of an audience as possible, so that's not going to be selected. Don't bother sending me that stuff. If you want, and as I mentioned, if you wanted to promote your social media link, include that as well, and I'll put that in the live stream. So for this tier, you're going to get the live stream critique and promotion. You get the artist submission Discord channel, where all of you who submit your work have a channel dedicated to you, and you guys can connect through that. Access to finished pages of things that I'm working on, work in progress, behind the scenes, access to the Discord server, as I mentioned, and your name is going to be listed in the credits. Your patron name is listed in the credits, as well as access to patron-only community. Then we got the Kickstarter patrons. Now this one's pretty exciting. Be the first few to kickstart the Art Lounge Patreon. When you pledge to this tier, I will paint a digital high-resolution digital portrait of you on the stream and personally send you the finished portrait. So you could do whatever it is that you want. You could use it as your social media avatar, whatever it is. Send it to somebody that is a significant other for you or a family member. I highly encourage masks, makeup, glasses, expressive face expressions, hats, and accessories. Those are great. I think it'll make interesting portrait. It'll make an interesting stream, but it's not required. You could just send me a portrait photo of you. So from the head down to your neck, or a little bit below it, or down to like maybe just about where your chest is. Those are highly encouraged. So I'm going to be doing that high resolution digital painting of you on live stream, and you get access to work in progress, behind scenes, access to finished pages, patron name listed in credits, and access to the Discord server, as well as the patron only community. Then we got the next tier right here. This is tier 5, artist promotion. So if you are an intermediate or advanced artist, if you're somebody who enjoys the stream, you want to be part of it, you want to get an opportunity to promote your work to all the different social media platforms that I advertised on, this is a tier for you. You can be part of the Art Lounge community. It's $25 a month. You could just do 1 month submission. So join this tier. I'll give you guys more instruction on that, and you can also read it. As I mentioned, I listed the patron page on the Twitch channel, so you can check that out for yourself. But yeah, if you're an intermediate or advanced artist and you want to join the stream, you want to have 5-minute promotion time on the stream, as well as your social media link posted. This tier is a perfect opportunity for that. So if you're a comedian, a dancer, a musician, an architect, animator, painter, poet, performance artist, filmmaker, or just an artist with interesting content that you want to share, then this tier is for you. You'll get 5-minute airtime at the beginning of the stream, where I'll introduce you, share your social media link, and play your video you submitted, as well as promote you on all my social media prior to starting the stream. You'll also get access to the tier 5 members only channel on Discord. So it's only going to be dedicated to you guys who are pledging $25 per month, where you guys can network with each other. You can get to know each other, share resources, talk about whatever it is, art related, not art related. It's an opportunity for you guys to connect with each other and create a community, or even collaborate for the next video that you want to submit. So an important note before you're getting selected, before you join this tier, please subscribe to tier 1 before you subscribe to this one. I can't guarantee that I'm going to select your work. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's questionable out there. I'm not going to post immediately the first person who pledges 25. So it's going to be a selecting process. So join tier 1. It's $2 a month. You could just do it for that month to see if you're selected. So join that one and send me a direct link. Either send me a link to a popular social media. It shouldn't be some abstract link, you know. So if it's like Tumblr and it has your username on there, make sure it's easy for me to find you. You could also send me a screenshot of your profile, so that way you can make sure that I see your profile and not somebody else's profile with a similar name or whatever it is. Or just send me the username for the social media. So if you have a YouTube channel with a bunch of videos for whatever kind of work that you do, or if you have, you know, DeviantArt or any of those are acceptable. Those are acceptable links. Just make sure that you include your username on there so I could look for it myself. It's just a way to avoid bad links, avoiding spam, etc., that sort of thing. So yeah, I'll look you up, and if you're selected, I'll write you back, and then you can join. Or if not, I'll also just let you know, hey, just put out your work more, produce some more stuff, and we'll take it from there. So I'll write you back. I'll let you know you can join this tier, $25 per month, and I'll have your work featured. And this ensures that your $25 aren't wasted. You're not going to put in $25 and not get selected. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So tier 1 is just a way to avoid that and to be considered to be selected. So and again, just remember, if you plan on doing it once, remember to cancel before the next monthly charge. And you'll still have access to the tier 5 members only Discord channel. So if you only submit it once, it's not going to kick you out of the tier 5 members only Discord channel. And just wanted to go over some tips here while making the video, just to entertain, guys, and invoke style, beauty, and intrigue. That's the whole idea of it. You want to promote yourself, you want people to see your work, and also to be entertaining. So, what I'm basically saying is that if it's like a TikTok video with you wearing sweatpants, it's not going to get selected. I want to see some effort, and I'm sure the viewers want to see some effort as well. So just to impress, make it look interesting, make it look cool, and it's going to make your work look even better. So then next tip is social media accounts have to have, like, whatever link that you're sending me, it has to have at least 2-month history. We got some people who just create an account, they have like 1 or 2 images. That's not going to be considered. You have to have some history. You got to show that you're really into your work to have that promotion. You can't just be promoting just one piece of work that you've done. That's just not going to work. And usually you could tell if somebody's really into it or not, because that's just the case. You have history, you got consistent work, or if you have work that's published, that's a really good chance that you're going to be selected. I'm not extremely picky to pick only specific type of things. It's really just to see some interesting content and something that you're really passionate about, something that you really like doing. And it kind of shows, when there is consistency in posts, that you actually have been published, that you exhibited, toured, or live performed, depending on which field of art you're in. Or you have a viewable large body of work. So you don't necessarily have to be published or exhibited, toured, or live performing to be selected. You just have to have a large body of work that's pretty consistent and that's been updating. Yeah, you'll more likely be selected there. So some ideas. This is just, I think, the best way to go about it to get that 5-minute promotion time is to create a video. And you could use like iMovie. That's a pretty simple tool to be able to create a quick video. Or, there are other ways of creating them. You could screen record while you are showing the images or playing the video. Let's say if it's like a YouTube video, you could just screen record it while having audio in the background talking about it, or whatever it is. Just an idea. You guys are creative. You know how you'd want to advertise your work, especially if you are in the advanced or intermediate level. So yeah, you could send a video file with just audio and a cover of your album if you're a musician, but I highly encourage you to send in a music video. I think that's going to be great exposure for you. You're going to be funneling all the people viewing it to your channel, to your website, or to your social media. So a music video will be great, and it's also going to help people get to be more familiar with your stuff. The more creative the music video, the better. For writers, it could be the similar thing. You could send a video file with audio and your book cover for the front of the page. Again, you could just have that as your screen. If you don't want to use like really advanced software, but iMusic, as I mentioned, it's pretty simple. You just take a little bit of time to create a 5-minute video that you could use, not just for Art Lounge, but that could be your 5-minute video for other opportunities as well. So I think it's going to be time well spent learning these these programs, they're going to come to use for you later. So yeah, you could send a video file with audio and your book cover or page you're reading from, but I also encourage like in-person reading, you know, so a video of you reading and doing a performance. And as I mentioned, you know, just to impress, that's really going to skyrocket your video and people visiting your link. For illustrators, same idea. You could send a video file with a slideshow of your work, or, you know, do a slideshow and screen record it with audio in the background talking about it, or music, or however it is that you want. I will introduce you. I will talk about your website. Then for comedians, if you, and that's, I think this is a pretty obvious one, you just do like a 5-minute stand-up. It could be just an audio file with your stand-up and like an image that you want to use as the cover for you. You could include your link as well. I'm going to post that as well. So these are just some ideas. There's many fields in between. You could be an animator, you could be a stop motion animator, you know, you could be an architect. As long as you fit into any of these fields, and even if not, if you have just a large body of work that's not really something that's categorical within this, or, you know, what is the common thing? The important thing is that you're really into what you're doing and you got a large body of work. You've been doing it for a while. As I mentioned, this tier is for intermediate and advanced artists. So you guys know who you are. Yeah, you know, send me the link, as I mentioned. Subscribe to tier 1, send me the link, let me take a look at it, and then if you're selected, I'll tell you guys to join this tier and feature your work on stream. Feature your links on stream as well. And as I mentioned, I will be posting I'll be posting on social media prior to going live with you as the main page attraction. So this is pretty much it. I'm trying to do a quick brief overview. Then we got tier 4. And just before I move on to tier 4, private tutoring, I just wanted to mention again that you guys will also have, and I think I've mentioned before, you will have tier 5 members only Discord channel. So for members within this tier, you guys will have that channel to connect with each other, to network. I think I said it earlier. But it is an important note. I think it is a fun feature for anybody in this tier as well. You guys will be able to connect with each other. So yeah, moving on to tier 4, private tutoring, $65 a month. You guys get 4 videos, which is 1 video per month of instruction. So 15 to 30 minute videos per week. I'm always going to aim for 30 minutes, but it really depends. Like if you don't really put in a lot of work, I don't have that much to work with. So it really depends on how much you get done each week. You know, I'm going to be giving you guys some homework assignments in ways that you can improve your work. So that will really up the chance of it being 30 minutes and maybe more, depending on really, like I mentioned, depending on how much work you've done, because the goal is going to be to bring up your skill as much as possible. So 4 videos per month, 1 video per week, where I'll be doing just focusing on you. It's private. It's not going to be live streamed. You don't have to worry about that. And I'm going to be giving you step-by-step instructions, demonstrations, live demonstrations on Clip Studio Paint, just showing you where you can improve on the image. So you have to submit your image first on what you want to work on, or what you're working on, or what you worked on before and you want help with, or you want to see where you could improve on it. And this is open to all skill. You know, as long as you have some work to show me, as long as you have some work to start off with, it's a green light. So just send me that first. Once you join this tier, you don't have to join like the previous one. You could just immediately join this one. Send me the image that you're working on, and we'll go from there. You know, I'll talk about it real quick with you. I'll chat with you on the Discord server, and we'll continue from there. And with every video that I send you, I'm going to send you a PSD file as well. So that's the benefit of the Discord server, is I can upload it, and you are going to get your own private Discord channel dedicated just for you. So whoever it is that joins it, there's 15 spots available. That's as much time as I could dedicate to it right now. So for 15 people, each person gets their own private Discord channel, and nobody else is able to access it. It'll be just between me and you. You can post your questions, you could post your comments, you could post your progress. I'm going to be uploading PSD files there, sending you links for the video lessons that you're going to be seeing. And yeah, that's just going to be a personal one-on-one interaction. So yep, this is what I was mentioning. You will get access to Tier 4 only members Discord channel, where you can share your progress or just get to know each other and build a community. That's another one. So aside from your own private channel between me and you, you're going to also get Tier 4 members only. So if you're in this tier, it's going to be 15 of you. You guys can be in this channel talking about whatever it is that you want. Connect with each other, discuss your progress, whatever. It's there to just create a community for Tier 4 members only, but you're also going to get access to the other general Discord channel, where pretty much everybody from all the tiers can come together and talk and see what's going on. And that's just a way for everybody to just be involved with each other rather than being separated into different channels. So with that, you will get work in progress, access to finished pages, access to the Discord server, as I just mentioned, and your patron name will be listed in the credits, as well as your Patreon only community access. So this is pretty much it, guys. This is going to be the channel. This is going to take some time to grow, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an excellent way to build Art Lounge and show you guys some interesting work. So check it out. It's listed, as I mentioned, on the Patreon, not Patreon, but on the Twitch channel. It's listed on the Twitch channel. You could click on that link and you could look through this, read through it. Pretty much everything that I've gone over and said is mentioned on there. Excuse me. And you can always, as I mentioned, you could always send me a message on Twitch, or you could send me a message on any of the social media platforms listed if you have any questions, if you want to get more detail, and I'll write you back. So that's it for the big announcements, guys. I'm going to be also posting, the schedule on social media so that you guys can have a better idea. And yeah, let's get into drawing comics, where we left off yesterday. So there isn't that much time. It took me about half an hour, but this is just for today as I'm making these announcements. Other days I'm just going to briefly mention for you guys to check out the Patreon website. It won't be such a long overview each time. All right, so we're just gonna continue where I left off yesterday, which is Conan being crucified for infiltrating the cultist and his cult meeting, or whatever those crazy people were doing. And he is waiting for his death, just waiting to see what's gonna happen. Now, this is like a really amazing, I think it's a great shot. It's a great page because it shows such a dynamic way of telling the story. You know, I wanted to briefly go over that before jumping into the panels. We got this shot right here. It is a pan shot from a distance, just to give you an idea of how desolate the surroundings are and what his condition is. It's a great shot, beautiful work, really small detail, yet still you're able to see what's going on there. The anatomy is still great, despite it being such a small panel. Or small work, rather, not panel. And then it switches over to like a 3/4 view of Conan being nailed onto the tree. Again, showing John Buscema's incredible skill with anatomy and how precise it is. You know, just the shadows showing all the different muscles and where they are. It's really skillful work. And then from that shot, it's a close-up of his face for you to get a better idea of his face expression. And despite this is something that I mentioned before, despite them being pretty small, like here you could still see his face slightly. You know, you could still see the eyes there. Here as well, it still portrays emotion. You know, you could see that there's like blood on his lip and nose. And even the eyes, they're proportionate. It's not, he's not fudging it. He's still taking the time to really put in that detail. And then switching over to here where you get a better view of his face expression, what's going on in his mind, and how disgruntled he is, and a mix of, I guess, what can I say? It's like a mix of anger, fear, but readiness to take on the challenge. So it's like all of those and combined into one. And I think that's really good way to portray it. He really captured that. And then following that is another shot. So all these shots are changing. You know, it's not going just from face to face, close-up shots to close-up shot. He's ranging it in order to tell the story, which I think is really important. You know, you want to have a compelling page, and to do that, you have to know how to draw all these different perspectives, how to draw all these different angles, while maintaining things like face expression and body language. You know, that whole thing as well. And this panel right here is beautiful. It's a bird eye view. You could see again a demonstration of his ability, to maintain perspective. Like, he still maintains the right proportions in perspective, maintains the anatomy still. You could still see parts of the figure and the muscles. But yeah, overall, just the idea that it's the bird's eye view, literally. Like, that's a term used for the angle, the camera angle in a shot. But this is literally a bird's eye view, because you see like the vulture hovering over him for dramatic effect. And here I also wanted to mention how just these quick lines, you know, they're black lines, don't necessarily see the detail, but you know, like your eye puts it together. Probably has more to do with this right here, because you actually see feathers there. You kind of make the connection that these are birds as well. I just think that's so skillful and such a great way of doing that. Simple lines, but still having pretty big implications. Yeah, and then the rest of them, as you could see, this is like your sign of hope. It starts out small, and then gradually he sees that it's somebody he could recognize. Despite being out in the desert, despite being in a place where it's completely desolate, what are the chances that he's going to come across a friend? So it's a great panel. I think there's a lot of drama to it, and especially going from this scene right here where he's caught and this guy's issuing the orders to the next scene, him already being crucified on a tree, on a dying old tree. So great page, I think. Awesome work done by John Buscema, as always. And I will be moving on to this panel right here. I'm excited about this one. I like that it really pans in. You can see his face expression. I think John Buscema really draws faces well. And I like the style that he uses for it. So I'm pretty excited to draw that. this for now. And I'm gonna measure out the width. So for this panel, let's just do it this way right here. And then this panel is 3. This is about 2.25. So it's like an inch longer. Excuse me, an inch and a half longer. I'm gonna say it's pretty much that size. And I'm gonna measure this for the height. Which looks like it's about half the panel, right? Let's just do a quick measurement there. Yeah, it's half the panel. So here, I'm gonna see if I can measure half. To figure out the height. All right. And now we're ready to connect the lines. Looks like it's a little bit wider. Gonna change this tune. Hold on. Gonna take a break from EDM. Think one day is enough. And I will come back to it at some point, just for a change of pace. So I'm going to start out by doing like a quick sketch. Keeping in mind the relationship between objects. So for example, how far away is the frame from the top of the head. That's just a good way of measuring to make sure that things kind of fit right into the page. Because if you draw the head a little too low, then everything else on the body is going to have to be shifted. And you'll find out that certain things don't fit on the page anymore because of that. So you want to avoid doing that. And it's a good way to do it. I think it's a good tool to use, and I use it very frequently when it comes to references. I think it's an excellent way to make sure that things are precise. And makes things a little easier. So for example, here you know that this, for example, this part of the muscle is supposed to be pretty close to the frame as well. And this suggestion of the muscle leaves this little corner right here. See, like this another tool using negative space as proximity measurement. So like, you know that your panel should have like a little triangle open here to make sure that everything is aligned where it should be. Then, for example, the tip of the hair right here, you see that it's actually touching the frame, the bottom of the frame. So just using various tools to ensure accuracy. I do find it useful to draw these lines, these guidelines. I highly encourage everyone to do it as well while they're learning. Just because it allows you to avoid, let's say, having the eye being lower than where it's supposed to be. And this kind of gives you that unition, like, you know that if it follows it, it's gonna not only follow the anatomically correct placement, because again, you could draw it a little bit lower than the right eye, for example, or the left eye, and that's going to throw the entire perspective of the face off. And that's something that I was actually fighting on the project stream, my previous project that I was working on. The angle was very challenging. The head was tilted in a way where everything was kind of at an angle. And it just made features, if looking at them individually, we're looking at them separate from the rest of the face features, it looked really weird. You know, the mouth was like really angled. But once you draw it in correct position, everything else looked right. And sometimes it helps, and this is something that I do as well. This is another tip on ways to improve accuracy or ways to improve your drawing from references is sometimes disassociating what you're looking at and looking at it strictly as abstract objects or abstract lines. So for instance, when you were looking at the lips, instead of seeing lips, you really focus on the line itself. Like, don't try to draw the lips, try to draw the lines that create them, you know, and focus on that as much as possible. And then switching back, you know, so disassociating from it actually being something like lips to just seeing lines, and then switching back and seeing how it looks, you know. So this ability, this shiftment and perspective, is something that I actually have an example of right here that I've done. It is a tool. It's a way to guide yourself in drawing. I know it's somewhere here on panels. Where are you? There you go. So this is a perfect example. I've drawn the cube right here. These two cubes are identical. I started out drawing them the same way, but this, and actually, I think I have to just demonstrate it in order for it to make more sense, rather than just showing it to you. Trying to find a good place for it. Okay, let's do it here. So I'm just going to show you guys. I'm going to do a demonstration of how your perspective can change the object itself. So I'm going to draw two cubes exactly the same way from start to finish. Right? This one and this one. Drawn exactly the same way. You got one in the distance, one in the front, right? Now I'm going to connect them to form this cube. As you can see, the exact same drawing, nothing is different about it. The only thing that's going to be different about this is how you see it. And right now, like looking at it, I could switch between perspectives, but take a look. You see them, they're exactly the same cubes. And most likely, you're seeing this right here as the front of the cube, right? And that makes sense. That's pretty much what most people would see when they're drawing it. Now take a look, same exact cube, but I'm going to shade in a different area. And look at how it's going to transform the angle. Now this is the front, which is kind of showing it like this. Whereas here, it's showing it in this direction. So just by shifting your view, your vision, you're able to see the object differently. Now going back, isn't that strange? Isn't that weird that our eye just kind of creates this illusion and we're able to shift between the two? Like again, I'm going to do the quick demonstration of them. But this time I'm not going to shade it in. Same exact cubes, drawn the same way as the previous ones. And now the challenge for you is going to be to see these differences without the shading. So same exact cubes, right? Drawn the same exact way. But now challenge yourself to shift between this perspective and this perspective while looking at them. And eventually, with practice, you'll be able to do it at your will. Like whenever you feel like it, you'll see this side or you'll see this side. And that's basically what I was trying to show, is that we have this ability. We could shift perspectives. We could shift our view to see things differently, despite them being as they are. So in the same way, you know, when you're looking at something, you could just look at it abstractly. That's another technique. You just look at it abstractly, and you think, okay, like this right here isn't a muscle, it's a shape. It's like an oval shape, or like a seed shape. You're kind of disconnecting from what it actually is, and it allows you to just study the lines and study the shape without thinking about it. I'm drawing a muscle right now. Does it look like a muscle? And then once you draw that out, you could see like, whoa, I actually got the shape of it right. You know, the dimensions are appropriate. So the same, you know, when you're looking at it here and you're comparing, you could see like, okay, it's drawn about right. You know, I'm not drawing a muscle, I'm drawing like this seed shape. So you're kind of disconnecting, but then you could switch your vision again and see it as the muscle, and you're like, yeah, it actually does look like it now. So these tools, you know, the ability to recognize the space difference between objects, disconnecting or disassociating from what the object is and turning it into a more simple form. Like all of these are tools in order to ensure accuracy, in order to train your eye to see things, to see details. And it's kind of similar to also what people do when they flip an image. So if you're drawing digitally, you just flip it horizontally, or mirroring rather. When you mirror the image, you change it so that your eye is refreshed and you could start seeing things differently. And then flipping it back again to see it a different way. Like all these tools allow you to not get mesmerized by the image. Sometimes your eye just really gets used to it and you can't see any more detail, like specific kind of detail. You're just used to seeing it a certain way, and that blocks you from noticing little details that could actually improve your drawing. So all these tools kind of do that for you. They just switch that off for a minute, allowing you to see things differently, and therefore giving you a chance to notice something new, something different. I was always fascinated by that cube example. I've noticed, I was like, wait, it's exactly the same, but for some reason our eye just sees it differently. It's kind of this like magic trick in a way. And there's also another example that I did on the stream. You guys can check out the highlight section on Twitch. I created a highlight out of it where I show you guys a dancing figure. She's a spinning dancer. And it's a silhouette. You don't really see details of her. And she's spinning in what looks like one direction. But your eye is actually creating that direction, and you can actually see the image if you choose to go the opposite direction. Take a look at it. It's actually really interesting. I talk about it, and you guys can get another example of how our eye kind of plays a trick on us, on our mind, on our vision, kind of, or our mind rather, is playing a trick on our eyes. This is a really fascinating thing that happens. I think that is as close to magic as it comes, really. Like these examples, that spinning dancer, are really good examples of what magic would be like. because it happens right before our eyes. Like, people look at that image, and I've tried it out with people that I knew, and you could try it with your friends too. When it comes to that spinning dancer, or even with this box example, like, you could draw them out and ask them, like, which do they see? And some people will see one and not the other, and interchange between the two. Like, the initial one that they see might be one different from the one that you've seen. I think that's really interesting. And the same thing with the spinning dancer. You know, when you see her rotating clockwise, other people see her rotating anti-clockwise. And then switching. And some people don't see it switch. They only see it going one direction. So it's this really bizarre thing. I'm going to say that it has something to do with which part of the brain you are more trained in. If you are more trained in the right side of the brain, you are only seeing it going clockwise. If you're trained in the left side of the brain, you're seeing it anti-clockwise. I'm gonna attribute that to it. And then people who are trained a little bit in both, they could do both, and they could actually switch at will the direction that she's spinning. You could even find the GIF animation and break it down. Like, break it down to frame by frame. We open up in preview and take a look and see where it shifts. Or if you have your friend there with you, you could ask them, like, hey, which direction do you see? And if they say that she changes direction, you should be able to notice that change as well. But if she's continuing to spin in that one direction, it's a good indication that it's not the image, and it's the mind. It's the mind playing a trick on your eyes. So take a look. It's in the collections tab on Twitch, and it's labeled "Your Mind Playing Tricks on Your Eyes." And that folder just has some like highlights, some cool moments. You might not want to go through the entire stream, or you just want to show somebody else like these specific things. So that folder is dedicated for that. And anytime there's going to be some like interesting, different moments in the stream, you'll find them in that folder. And I'll try to update it pretty regularly. Anyways, guys, I think this is the end of the stream. I went a little bit past it. If you enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button, check out the Patreon page, look through all the different tiers, see which one interests you. And I will be back tonight at 8 p.m. for the project stream. Also, check out the social media. I'm going to be posting images of the new schedule. That's going to start next week. But tomorrow I will be back at the same time for drawing comics. So you could check back then. And I'll see you in the next stream.